Garumbache Tashidele. Nip Peke Tony Shiragi, Inji Tony Kandi. Tiwa.
I think English better.
English. Loso. Any I am from Boulder, Colorado, from the US. I am studying psychology. And I was wondering, how do I make sure that as I study psychology, how do I combine the philosophy of Buddhism and also keep my background intact as I continue my studies, but also make sure that I incorporate some Buddhist philosophy to help my family and people around me and the Tibetans in general.
Kasa. Oh, very good. As far as sort of the psychology about mind, about emotion, I think ancient Indian tradition, ancient Indian psychology, I think very, very rich. But unfortunately, this ancient, very rich Indian sort of knowledge, now in modern India, I think very much neglected. That's why I'm trying to revive this ancient Indian knowledge. All our knowledge, these sort of philosophical views and the psychology and the logic, all these come from India. We learned from Indian teacher, Shantarakshita, Kamalashila. Then text, as I think the major text, the Nagarjuna's text, Aryadeva's text, and Buddha Palita, and then Dignak, Dharmakirti, Arya Asanga, Basubandh, all these sort of great Indian scholars, Nalanda scholar, they are writing, we study. I think we really feel proud. All these difficult texts, all translated into Tibetan and very precisely, as I mentioned briefly, like that. So now, about psychology, I think Vinaya Marbe, Kasa? Abhidharma. Also, you say, like the Abhidharma Koshakarika. I think first chapter, second chapter, then fourth chapter, fifth chapter, are these mentioning about mind or about sort of kazoda, kamda, or pungbu kamda, jiji, wombo,
Yes. So these chapters that His Holiness mentions actually deals with the psychophysical aggregates, as we call, like what constitutes human body and so forth.
Then the Dignags, Dharmakirtis, Parmanavartika Karika, Namji.
Pramanavartika Karika, which is called.
While he mentioning the logic, the Buddhist logic, he also, you see, touch about mind, how to develop. So that part. I think then today, I think the easiest thing is Luri Jangda.
Yes. So an easy text to study would be this a certain genre of text called study of mind and consciousness.
A few years ago, I asked one occasion my teaching a young student, Luri Tomdi to Parjam Terry.
So some years ago, when His Holiness was giving this kind of teaching that he did these last 3 days, one time His Holiness actually asked to print this text on Lorik, a study of mind and consciousness, that was written by Aceh Yongzin Lobsang Thendup. So perhaps you could find that text from the library.
I think worthwhile you memorize that small text. I also, since a young child, I memorize Lurik Dom.
So it's a versified text. Perhaps you could memorize it if you get it.
Okay.
No, it's called the Compendium of Awareness or something like that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next question.
Your Holiness, so I have a small question. We belongs to a world. We belongs to a world where we have many countries, and we don't have a equality region. He is American, we are Indian, he is Russian. Wherever we go, we require a passport visa. Can we establish a equality region in world so that we don't have any difference? We can live there peacefully.
Karsa. That's my main concern. Basically, we human beings, see, social animal. So any social animal, the emotion level, loving kindness, that you see bring together the community or the group, even animal like that. Then, because of that, basic human nature is more compassionate. That's now scientists say now. When we look young child, you see they so long you see showing a smile, a friendly attitude, then they don't care what nationality, what religious faith. They play together. Then gradually, you see, through education, then we, they neglect basic these human value, then our intelligence more important. So study, knowledge. Then is a secondary level of differences. Different nation, different color. In India, a caste system. So and then you see religious faith. And within same sort of community, same faith, same nationality, but still we make distinction. Richer family, poor family. We always emphasize the secondary level of differences. So that's the causes of today's problem. So since many problems which our own creation, you see, because of these differences, but if you look, all these differences are secondary level. Basically, we all same human being. Mentally, emotionally, physically, we are same. So now, that's the only way is to try to promote the sense of oneness of 7 billion human beings and develop genuine sense of brotherhood, sisterhood, entire 7 billion human beings. Then those differences which you see they actually secondary level, then you see consider, oh, that's not important. Important is we are same human being. Now, particularly now, today's world, the modern world, in ancient time, like we, Tibetan, inside Tibet, we only bother Tibet, the southern, the Himalayan mountain, that's our wall. And then also you see, I think geographically, that's our border. Similarly, north also there are some mountains. So we a little bit isolated and remain like that. Now today, in the ancient time, Indian, even I think Punjabi only concern Punjab, Bengali only concern Bengali, like that. Now, after sort of union of India developed, then, for example, Mahatma Gandhi ji is symbol of whole India. So the India, I think, really very good union. South Indian, East Indian, West Indian, North Indian, Central Indian. It's a different language, different script. But some South Indian, Tamil people say Tamil language is much higher than Hindi. So then Northern Indians say Hindi more important. So this is there are some small sort of differences. But basically all are Indian. Happily remain within union of this country. Wonderful. So similarly, I always admire European Union. For example, French, German, till the end of Second World War, very negative attitude one another. After Second World War, then you see the leaders like Adenauer and de Gaulle and some other leaders also. Now they realize now common interest is more important than simply different national sovereignty or these things. So European Union developed. One my friend, not only friend, I also consider my tutor about quantum physics, the late von Weizsäcker. He once told me when he was young, as a young German, the French is their enemy. Similarly, in French eye, like that. Now that kind of attitude completely changed. He told me. Then the year 1990s, he mentioned that when he was young, too much that was today, because of negative attitude between French and German. Similarly, some other sort of European member of European Union. Now today, that completely changed. So I think on a practical level, because of European Union, I think the last few decades, among the member states, no fighting, no killing. If European Union not developed, then I think these member states, I think last few decades, I think some fighting. Like that. So therefore, since, you see, they over several centuries fighting or negative attitude, but because of new circumstances, develop or think about common interest. So therefore, this European Union develop. The India also, now think world, global level, we should emphasize oneness of 7 billion human beings. Different language, different nationality, different religion is secondary level. I feel that. Yes?
So along with that, we have to establish the equality in that region. Unless we have the equality, if we...
Too close.
Unless we have the equality, we cannot unify. We have the equality.
I think India, democratic country, most populated democratic country, and rule of law. There's a little complaint here and there. There is still human being there. Some complaint always there. But basically, I think the situation of India, I think compare Pakistan and Bangladesh and even Sri Lanka and Burma and these supposed democratic country, India, much stable, much stable. So therefore, I think India, I think really good example. Over billion populated nation and different part of India, different culture, different language, different script, but remain together equally. And occasionally, you see the India's press, they enjoy freedom. So small things happen, they make big. But basically, overall, you see, if you look, so the
wider perspective. From a wider perspective.
Because of wider perspective and unbiasedly, if you look, I think India now, maybe this is some sort of exaggeration. India, our home, not only, you see, the recent about 60 years, but all our knowledge here come from Nalanda. Nalanda in India, all Nalanda masters are Indian, and most of them South Indian, not Northern Indian. So therefore, India spiritually, truly our home. So maybe little sort of exaggeration. I think overall, India, over billion populated nation, and a lot of problems here and there. But overall, the rule of law and freedom, democracy, I think kept quite well, I feel.
Yes, next question.
So, thank you very much for receiving us. My question is this sense of unity you were speaking about, and also this ease of the mind and the loving kindness and the joy. Do you think humanity will make it?
Too close, the sound is not good.
Do you think humanity will succeed this journey towards compassion, towards peace of the mind? For the whole world?
I believe existing education, oriented about material value, I think that's the, I feel, problem. The human nature, more compassionate, and then children. They very much concern, very much appreciate loving kindness. Once we joined education, modern education, then not much talk about this inner value. Only money or material value. So now I always feel in our education field must include education about our inner world, our mind, our emotion. These days I just telling, I feel in education the hygiene of physical is there included. Now we must include hygiene of emotion. Not through prayer, not through ritual or religious thing. Simply, it's a fuller knowledge about the whole map of emotion. Through that way, we can teach children how to keep, how to develop peaceful mind. And particularly when we're facing some sort of situation which usually create irritation and anger. There is such case, within emotion, we already equipped. Destructive emotion there, similarly, opposite constructive emotion by nature there. If our anger is part of our mind, if our basic life is just anger, then I think we may not survive. I think at a young age, suicide, I think. No sort of, human compassion. Then, for example, parent and mother, particularly mother, neglect, we die. So, the basic human nature is more compassionate, and the human survival very much depend on compassion, taking care of each other. So therefore, now in education, we should know, so basically in our emotion, there are all negative things as well as positive things. So firstly, as I mentioned earlier, hygiene of emotion, they educate young child. You see, I often asking when I met some student, do you prefer smile or do you prefer this kind of face? And then everybody says smile. It's true. Me too. When I meet people, firstly, I always smile. Then response from audience also smile. Then I feel very happy. Some cases I smile, but their side still remain like that. Then I do kasati,
Tickle.
Then a smile come. So like that. It's human nature. You see, we grown up in the atmosphere of loving kindness. So now loving kindness should be the important, very important for our life. So our emotion also, these things already there. Now education, not talking these things. When we talk loving kindness, then quite often you see relying on religion, religious faith. So religion, then sometimes you see different religion also sometimes causing problem. So all major religious tradition, I think the essential message or essential practice is loving kindness. Whether theistic religion, non-theistic religion, all carry same message of love and forgiveness, tolerance, contentment. self-discipline. All major religious traditions carry this message. But then we sometimes seem to see we are not much pay attention to these things, but simply very name Buddhist, Christian, Judaism, Jews, and Muslim, like that. I think so. Therefore, now in education, they would say universal value or secular ethics. According to India, secular is very fit. Secular means respect all religions and also respect non-believer. That's important. Advani, my great friend, is one time he told me, according to Indian understanding about secularism, you must respect a non-believer. So that means you must sort of faith or respect entire 7 billion human beings. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Then I think in the West, the very word secular sometimes you feel a little sort of some sort of
Negative connotation. There is, in the West, the word secular has some kind of negative connotation.
Secular, some kind of distance for religion or disrespect religion when we use the secular. But according to Indian understanding, secular means respect to all, including non-believer. So I think some of my friends say the universal compassion, universal
values,
also the moral principle. So in any way, that I think through education, we can bring on the basis of basic nature more compassionate, and then through education, you see, these basic human quality, if you deliberately keep, you will be more happier individual. And the student, eventually, you see, they start family, more compassionate family, much happier, isn't it? Among the family member, a little bit of suspicion each other, distrust. Then that family may be very rich, never be happy family. Like that. So I think a compassionate mind, loving kindness is the beginning of our life, very important. Without that, we can't survive. Then rest of our life, the compassionate mind is the key factor to bring inner peace and also,
self-confidence.
Self-confidence. And then also, you carry more compassionate sort of way, never sort of thinking how to bully other, how to cheating other people. Then you can carry your life more transparent. That brings trust. Trust is basis of friendship. We social animal, we need friend. Friendship, you cannot buy money, power. I think those rich family may have more friend, but these friends are friend of money or friend of power. So when your fortune goes like that, then these friends no longer remain as a friend. So genuine friend, then when your fortune goes like that, then these friends really show you their concern, and you feel very happy, isn't it? Even finally, when we die, surrounded with your trusted friend, with showing smile and genuine sense of concern, you feel much happier, isn't it? At the time of dying, you see, your money, your power, Nothing. So therefore, basic human nature is more compassionate. So therefore, whole our life, from the childhood up to dying period, loving kindness is very important. Now loving kindness we can explain through education, not ritual, not prayer. Okay. So I think education, now I always telling my Indian friend, see, in this country, now all this ancient Indian knowledge now must revive in this country. The existing education in this country is introduced by Britisher. I really feel some sort of sad when India get independence. At that time, I think there's some scholars, some sort of spiritual leaders, I think should discuss when you got independence, then education system, education field should include some of these ancient Indian knowledge about psychology, about logic. These basically secular sort of idea, nothing to do with religion. Okay, like that. Okay, thank you.